For us, the Pacific island countries and Timor Leste, which is not an island, are key partners for the European Union. And we thank your support on the United Nations General Assembly resolutions relating to the war in Ukraine. But not only that, I think that we are working together to support a world based on rules with the United Nations on its core. Here I am accompanied by our ambassador to the United Nations, the recently appointed Special Envoy for Small Islands Developing States. I think that there are how many members of the United Nations are part of this group of small islands?
38.
38. Can you imagine? Almost, almost 1/3 of the United Nations are composed by countries which are small islands. It shows the importance that this group have, each one of you have for us. And the purpose of this meeting is to keep in touch with you, to share with you, all of us, our concerns at the multilateral level, and to start discussing and presenting our special envoy that we will be traveling around the region, reaching out to you and trying to engage. I would like very much, me too, to travel to this part of the world, and I hope I will be able to do that before the end of my mandate. I know that in Samoa is going to be the signature of the Post-Cotonou agreement, and this will be a good occasion to visit you. But by the time being, what do we have in our relationship toolbox? First, for sure, we have the big issue of climate change, then our development cooperation and the Sustainable Development Goals. Let's start by climate change. I am fully aware that climate change is a vital issue for the Pacific region. For us, climate is becoming a security issue, because climate is creating movement of people in our neighborhood, especially in Africa. Also, for your countries, climate is becoming a security problem because you are in the front line of the consequences of the climate change. You have been strong allies in bringing forward an ambitious climate change agenda, including on the run-up to the COP28, which will be a decisive moment to see if humankind is able to deal with these challenges. We know that climate finance is a key priority, and rightly so, because certainly the responsibilities of climate change has been very unbalanced distributed among the ones who has been big emitters since the beginning of industrial revolutions and others who has not. And by the contrary, they suffer more than anyone else the consequences of a problem that they haven't created. Certainly you have not created climate change, but you suffer the consequences. And that's why finance and compensations and loss and damages, this important discussion is understandably a key priority for all of us. Allow me to point out that the European Union is the main contributor bilaterally and through global finance instruments to fight against climate change, and we will continue to be so. So let's discuss about which are the key priorities in the fight against climate change, and how can we help more to you, and how can we work together on the run-up to COP28. Then our cooperation, the cooperation between the European Union and the Pacific development areas. I think we are a reliable partner on the Pacific, supporting the Pacific Development Agenda and your 2050 strategy of the Blue Pacific continent. We have been committed to your development and your development assistance since 2014, and since 2014 to 2027, the amount of our engagement will be about 1.5 billion. 1.5 billion, well, in 13 years is not so much, but overall it's quite an important effort. So which are the key development and challenges and areas that you would like us to work with you? And on our engagement, I'm extremely pleased that we will soon open a new chapter of our relations with the signing of the Samoa Agreement in Samoa in November. I hope I will be able to go. With this Post-Cotonou Agreement, our relations will become much more stronger. And finally, as you know better than I, the Pacific has become a theater of increasing geopolitical tensions, and I would like from you to know how these tensions are developing and how could we help to diffuse them. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for sharing this room and this meeting. Today I just want to have a first encounter in a mirror of the Pacific chapter of our partnership agreement with the African, Caribbean and Pacific countries. I don't want to go deeper and longer because otherwise I will exhaust the available time, but I remain at your disposal for this meeting. Maybe you want to say something as a special envoy. He is just starting the work, so be generous with him and support him.